each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello. I did this a little different, and it didn't work. It failed. So, all right, give me a moment. Bum-ba-dee-da, bum-ba-dee-da, bum-ba-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. Happy trails to you and to. I can't do too much singing or my video will get cut. That sucks because I like that song. You want to know what my favorite song when I was like 5, 6, 7? Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. I love that song. I still do. I still put it on. In fact, I'm going to listen to it next. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Did I say rainbows? I think I did. All right. Yeah, so attraction, not promotion. It's also in here, but I grabbed some other stuff for us to help us, put it into words that we kind of understand a little bit better. There it is, tradition 11. We'll probably pull out a little bit of that. Give me a second. I got a friend saying, thank you for letting me do that. Well, hi, Ingrid. I was just typing you, so I guess I don't need to apologize for doing it. Yeah, raindrops keep falling on my head. I don't know. Go listen to this song. It's actually a very uplifting song. It's about the troubles in the world and that you're not going to complain about them. You're going to move forward. It's a great song. It is by a guy named B.J. Thomas. Don't you dare make that joke. Don't you dare make the B.J. joke. Not with B.J. Thomas. I will rip you up. I won't. Welcome to us in Daily Trudge. We're doing purple today. I like the purple. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Live or the rewatch. Live or the rewatch. Do you know how many times I've said that? Well, I have 2,100 videos on YouTube. And that's not all of them. I didn't start putting my stuff on YouTube until I started. I was just on Facebook for a long time. I probably got close to 3,000 videos of content. All right. And now we're going to take all of that. We're going to convert it and we're going to just spam the fuck out of TikTok. Anyway. All right. So I've got this. Let me pull this up for us. Another thing, I took Facebook off my phone. I've been so much. It's almost like a fucking relief. But now sometimes I go outside, smoke a cigarette, I grab my phone, I'm like, yeah, Facebook's not on there. So I have to do something else. That's kind of been the hard part. Okay. But it's working. But now I have to watch it because now I'm hopping on Instagram. But I'm justifying it in my head. But then I see that I'm making comments that I shouldn't fucking make. And maybe I shouldn't be starting fights and go running around correcting everybody. Maybe Dion needs to focus on what he's doing. So I may need to take Instagram off my phone too. Okay. Attraction rather than promotion. This is an AI overview. Okay. And what AI does, it just goes out, grabs all the information, brings it back to you. All right. Attraction rather than promotion is a concept that means to focus on Sorry, I got a text and it's okay. Go away. Um, is a concept that means to focus on providing information and helping people change their lives rather than making promises or promoting a program. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I'm not gonna go in. I'm not really gonna get into the promotion part. I'd rather stick to the um yeah, it's just too much for you too, huh, Ingrid? Yeah, now my daughter's like, you need to be on TikTok. Well, I'm gonna make her run it. I'm not even gonna fucking get on there. She can take care of it. All right. In recovery programs, this concept is used in 12-step groups like AA and Al-Anon family groups. The idea is that people are attracted to the program when they see others who have recovered and living a better life. The focus is on helping individuals get through the program and maintain sobriety rather than on reaching membership goals or spending money on ads. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to bring up the grassroots recovery. That's exactly why it's invite only. It's why I'm trying to do this basic stuff. All right. Going back to the original AA, hey, if it's not right now, then we press the reset button. We go back to what we know. Helping others stay sober. Right? Okay. You'll see a lot of things out there. I would hate to be somebody that's trying to work through finding recovery. That'd be kind of tough right now. Hello, Daryl.
Hello, Dion.
In business, I don't want to do the business. The terrible misunderstanding is this: attraction rather promotion means that recovery cannot be promoted. It must mean, and that gets cut off. I get a ... It means that we must wait until a person, I know what they're going to say, is ready, right? Attraction is providing information where promotion is making promises. Ingrid saying hi to you.
Hi, Ingrid. Sorry.
That program focuses on changing people's lives one person at a time by helping them deal with their addiction, find sobriety, and maintain a sober life. All right, so that kind of gives us an idea of what Google thinks. So now we're gonna go to the 12 by 12. Tradition 11 is 180. Well, fuck, I should have just recorded this and it could have been part of my series. Oh, well, all right. I've been doing a tradition series for anybody that doesn't know. Tradition 11, our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and film. I was actually just talking to a sponsee about this because we have an offer and it looks like it's going to be July of 2025 where and Daryl, you are more than welcome, but we're being invited to talk in front of legislation about raising the taxes on alcohol, and then we're going to take those taxes and open up 12-step programs. That's what
I would love to attend that with you.
That's who I was talking to yesterday. That's the guy setting it up, and he's like, "Yeah, we need people like you in legislation." I'm like, "I got dozens of people like me."
Yeah, it's going to have to go to the vote, though.
Absolutely. That's right. Needs to be done.
Favor amendment shit. Yeah.
And so when I was talking to him, I said, now, because he's like, yeah, I might do something like that. And I said, now we have to remember when we go, we can do one of two things. I can either say I'm Dion and I'm part of a 12-step group, or I can totally omit my name and say I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. And that's how we'll have to present it. We'll talk about it. That's what it says in here.
No. I get that. And I would actually introduce myself and say that I'm in recovery. And
that's fine too. That's why we need what I'm going to do is have a couple of town meetings first for all of us. I'm going to start the town meeting thing. I need a town meeting for the detox too. After next week and we talk. All right. Without its legions of well-wishers, AA never have grown as it has. Throughout the world, immense and favorable publicity of every description has been the principal means of bringing alcoholics into our fellowship. In AA offices, clubs, and homes, telephones ring constantly. One voice says, I read a piece in the newspaper. Another, we heard a radio program. And still another, we saw a moving picture, or we saw something about AA on television. It is no exaggeration to say that half of AA's membership has been led to us through the channels like these. Now, what I'd like to do is bring up a line that's out there that I totally misunderstood, and I know everybody else is because they've been describing it to me the same way. Multiple pathways to recovery. Now, I thought that meant once I had a person, I had to offer all these different 47 different pathways to recover, because that's what they're saying. There's 47 different pathways to recover. I'm like, this makes no sense. And he and I started getting into it a little bit. And he said, Dion, let me explain what I mean. Yeah, you raising your hand or?
Yes. Your icon is covering up the chat.
You want to see my cat? Is that what?
No, I said chat. I don't got no teeth. Sometimes I don't sound like I'm talking right. You're the icon for the
Is that blocking your chat? Okay, yeah, let me get rid of that then.
It's blocking whomever is.
No, I don't need to upload.
There it is. Oops, there it is again. There's gone.
That's just Dion getting click happy. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me move it.
Sorry.
That's the only thing. No, not at all, because I'd rather see the chat too, and I can see it off to the side. So what multiple pathways actually means is what they were just talking about here. That people are finding recovery, whether it's AA, Celebrate Recovery, Smart Recovery, because I'm not doing anymore. That they find us through different pathways. Right here. Well, I heard a radio program. We saw a moving picture. And so yesterday when we were talking, he said, what do you think helps? And I said, well, public service announcements, because we are under the assumption that everybody knows about AA. And no, they don't. We just think that, well, AA is so big and everything, everybody knows, but no, they don't. So I said, we want public service announcements. So hopefully we'll be seeing that. I'll let you know what happens with that.
Without mentioning AA.
Yeah, the public service announcement is AA. Call your local AA, and it should have the phone number. It should have DACA.org and the phone number to central office. Yes. No.
Is that not promotion?
No, that is a public service announcement that we do not pay for. We do it all the time. Channel or PBS, they used to do it. They used to be a big supporter of AA. We cannot promote. If other people want to say, but otherwise, how else are we going to get people to AA if we're not in contact with these people? And that goes back to the responsibility statement, which was made for the professionals. We're supposed to get along with them.
So also question, if let's say that they go along with us and the taxes pass, or however that mechanism is to fund, does that not tie us into government entanglement?
If the program itself, let's say we get the taxes and we put up a treatment center, that is not AA, so it's fine. As long as the money doesn't come to us, I think is where it's at.
Well,
we do this all the time.
One of the issues that we have though is them getting their fingers in there, and whether they, what happens if they start asking for, I don't know, whatever, reporting and that kind of thing.
Well, and that will be.
I mean, we could show them where taxes are being spent or where our money is being spent and shit.
But that's Jose's job, not ours. Jose does that part.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, no, these are questions that must be asked. It's kind of, it's not any different than going to an AA meeting and saying, where does the money go? We got to be accountable. We must be accountable.
And we should. Right. I agree.
absolutely.
What I don't want is their intervention into how we do this.
Oh, just like they're doing with Alateen? Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, that would be the one that's on my mind.
Well, see, what happens is if we put in a detox that's done the right way, then what they'll have to do is follow the social norm in Adams County. They won't have a choice. Yeah. And since we're the advocates, since we're the people that went to this guy and said, hey, man, and we're the ones that came up with, hey, these are what we'd like to see, then you bet, yeah, we will be directly involved. No, and I hear what you're saying, Ingrid. I do hear what you're saying. That's a whole nother side that doesn't belong to AA. But as Dion, a recovered alcoholic, it very much is. Now, when I say a 12th step, and let me kind of rephrase that, you can't really have a 12th step treatment center. So you call it CBT because that's what AA is, right? And the people
CBT and
are usually bachelor degree people and psychologists and clinicians and stuff.
You just make sure that the treatment center itself is not holding the AA meetings that we would have in there. They would need to be like a club has groups.
Or maybe we could do what we used to do and not have treatment center meetings, and then they get in their van and go to meetings like we're supposed to.
Well, they did both back in the day.
They did, yeah. And we used to do it when I was in treatment when I was 15, and that you get an awful lot of weird looks when a bunch of teenagers walk into an AA meeting. But
climb out of a van with
here they come.
With right. With all this blank look on their face, what just happened to me?
Yeah, so yeah, it definitely needs to be separated for sure. The inquiring voices are not all alcoholics or their families. Doctors read medical papers about Alcoholics Anonymous and call for more information. Clergymen see articles in their church journals and also make inquiries. Employers learn that great corporations have set their approval upon us and wish to discover what that can be done about alcoholism in their firms. And we do a lot of this, sure. I mean, we have a whole chapter on To Employers, and it's still up to date. Now, it has changed. The law is if you go to your employer and say, I have a drinking problem, they're required to help you. Just they have to. They cannot fire you for it if you ask for help and follow through. And a corporation is going to want this because they don't want to retrain somebody. That costs a lot more money. But
most insurance company, our company insurance companies have a provision for it and mental health. But
absolutely, yeah. Now, when I say a 12-step treatment, this is what goes through my mind. It doesn't matter if you make millions of dollars or you're homeless. You're both going to the same treatment center. That's what I'm saying. Because it's just what it is. Because in AA, there is no difference between those two people in AA. They're just different situations. But what I like about this is because it reminds me, the Hayworth House, I have a couple of doctors that want to work directly with us. And these are the people that we will use when we get primary, but they know what we do. So when they have people that have come across, and they will send them to AA, not us, AA, right?
What type of doctors?
Yeah, but we
medical.
Do that. Go ahead.
Medical doctors or psychologists.
I got them all. I have counselors, therapists, doctors, psychologists, and psychiatrists.
Are any of them drunks?
I don't know, but I know they got servants' hearts. No. If you ask a therapist or somebody like that a personal question, they may not tell you because there's just a HIPAA line there, and they
right.
So there you go. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, a symbiotic relationship. That's exactly it. Thank you. That's why we do this together, so we get the right word.
That's exactly what that is.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I should have just named this symbiotic relationships. Thank you, Ingrid, for that was great. Somebody is going to say something nice and simple. We're going to go, there it is. That's all we need, just something simple to remind us. Therefore, a great responsibility fell upon us to develop the best possible public relation policy for Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, if we go back into the steps, it talks about at one point that we can't have a resentment towards alcohol anymore. That we have to that we got to get to a point where we're neutral.
Yeah.
And that is probably the best public relations policy that, it's just like we do what we do. Everything else is out there. But how does that work? So one guy comes in and he's new and he's going to sit down and he's going to listen to these 20 different people with these different experiences. And he's going to hear them. He's going to hear his own story through a series of different people. Hopefully somewhere somebody in there is going to plant a seed or say something where he's going to be over there going, is this person reading my email or something? Are they following me around? We used to call it reading my mail, but now that we don't do snail mail anymore, people don't get it. Through many painful experiences, we think that we have arrived at what the policy ought to be. It is the opposite in many ways of usual promotional practice. We found that we had to rely upon the principle of attraction rather than promotion. And that's what I rely on here. The podcast is an attraction, not promotion. I don't promote it. I put the podcast out, but you don't see me saying, hey, come to my podcast, come to my podcast. This is how I work it. I have somebody on, they share it with their people. That's how I grow. I don't do anything else. I'll tell you what, it's taken off. I've had 163 downloads in the last 7 days. That's like 4 times more than what I usually get. And that shows progress. Is that a huge number? No. Some people get that in 2 minutes. But they're promoting. They're jumping off. They're giving promises that they're not going to be able to follow through on. I won't even use a filter.
Did you get your TikTok set up?
So yeah, that's kind of funny. And my daughter's coming over tomorrow. She's gonna be here tomorrow. We're gonna get that going. So I downloaded the TikTok studio, right? I got everything set up. It took me like 20 minutes. I'm ready to do a test live. And they're like, oh, this feature doesn't work yet. So
Really?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I searched for you. I couldn't find you on there.
Yeah. All right. Hi, Julian. Good to see you. So I'm going to go back towards the end of this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Well, I could. It's actually not that long. Let's see how these two contrasting ideas, attraction and promotion, work out. A political party wishes to win an election, so it advertises the virtues of its leadership to draw votes. A worthy charity wants to raise money. Forthwith, its letterhead shows the name of every distinguished person whose support can be obtained. Now we call that hashtags. Those are hashtags. If I see somebody that got a bunch of hashtags and it's got like Jennifer Lopez, it's like, what do you think you're doing? What do you think? No. You think you're going to see your thing? And yeah, so that would be hashtags now. Anything likes, loves, any of that stuff. Stars. So that's an old Resident Evil thing. I play it.
That's the first place my brain went.
Is it?
Yes.
I love that one.
I love Resident Evil. Not the game, but the movie.
I love both. All right. So anyway, yeah. Much of the political, economic, and religious life of the world is dependent upon publicized leadership. Well, people don't know, then how are they going to? Yeah, that's hard. People who symbolize causes and ideas feel a deep human need. We of AA do not question that, but we do have soberly face the fact that being in the public eye is hazardous, especially for us. By temperament, And let's go look up temperament. It means to subdue. It means to tamper. I'm guessing. So let's find
It does.
Okay, that's good because I can't find my misspelled dictionary. But we do have to sort of end it up by temperament. Nearly every one of us had been an irresponsible promoter, and the prospect of a society composed almost entirely of promoters was frightening. Considering this explosive factor, we knew we had to exercise self-restraint. So here's the thing: all of us alcoholics are salespeople. Almost every single alcoholic is salespeople. We like being in the light, even if we're shy. We kind of like, so these things are hazardous for us. Not only that, but what happens if I go out and I say, well, you got to get sober for yourself? I might cause something that isn't right. And if I'm putting it out for certain things, what are my intentions? And that really is what it is. What am I trying to get out of this? Am I trying to get, you know, you gotta be honest. And this is the only example that I can think of. Last time I'm like, okay, I want to watch the Bronco game tomorrow. Okay, I just gotta be honest. And I put in the chat, hey, can anybody run the meeting tomorrow or host the meeting? I want to watch the Bronco game. And nobody gave me any shit for it. Maybe inside they did, but that's actually my time with my wife, and so, it's just the other thing that I love, and it's off topic. I don't have to be at the meeting for it to happen. And that is progress. I've been working very hard for the last 10 months to let it go. So, the way this restraint paid off was startling. It resulted in more favorable publicity of Alcoholics Anonymous than could possibly have been obtained through all the arts and the abilities of AA's best press agents. And Daryl will probably be back. Sometimes it goes off and on, or he might have had something. So obviously, AA had to be publicized somehow. So we resorted to the idea that it would be far better to let our friends do this for us. So when I was talking about public service announcements, yeah, if other people want to promote AA, they can. Okay. Told you. Nah, no worries. I kind of figured because your video stalled. So I'm gonna re-say this because you were if the way this restraint paid off was startling, it resulted in more favorable publicity of Alcoholics Anonymous that could possibly have been obtained through all the arts and abilities of AA's best press agents. Obviously, AA had to be publicized somehow, so we resorted to this idea that it would be far better to let our friends do this for us. And that's it. If the hospitals or even the government wants to put public service announcements out about AA, they can. But an AA member cannot. We must be restrained. And that goes back to the symbiotic relationship that we have to have. Now we're getting ready to talk about the news. They won't even fuck with Alcoholics Anonymous, but they'll fuck with anybody. But they do not. I wonder if they are trained in journalist school that when it comes to AA, these are the rules. So,
but they'll use it if they find out whatever a perp or whatever has been in recovery or has been to treatment, they'll use that as part of the hype about that person.
Yeah. Now,
as a defect, he's defective.
Sure, I understand that.
But they don't slam the program itself. Not that I've seen.
Now, what you cannot do, let's say Channel 6 comes in. I'm just making shit up. They're like, Dion, we want to put a billboard out, and it was your idea, so we want to put your face on it. No. Nope. Nobody's face goes on. Not even Bill's. No.
Mine too, Ingrid.
Lois. All right. Love you.
But if I mean, even some of the pamphlets show pictures of people. They just don't mention by name.
Well, yeah, and those are usually stock photos and things like that. I mean,
Exactly.
we can dig or whatever, and there are some things where people do get paid for things, like Abby down at central office. She gets paid for that job, and she should. It's a thankless job. It's hard. She puts her time into it, and she does a very good job of separating it. She does and that's kind of a fine line to walk. So it takes when we say special workers, we mean it. It's got to be a particular person, a type of, but those spots are for everybody in AA, and you'll find your spot. Some people like chairing. Some people want to be the secretary. Maybe they're a little bit more shy and they'd rather do that, not necessarily speak. And and we all have our place here. But
It's a huge organization. You got to have employees.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Now we have very limited employees. 98%. And I'm making up a number. Is service work, and the
Right.
other 10% is paid. But beyond that, and I tell you, they ain't getting paid a lot.
If you go to New York, I bet you'd find a few employees working in the main head
absolutely.
head office.
And some of them may not even be alcoholic. Some might be non-alcoholic, because sometimes we need a non-alcoholic in a position so that AA can stay neutral.
Checks and balances too.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of friends when it comes to AA, and those friends are, they could be anybody. I call them servants' hearts. I like giving that, like I meet somebody that has a big heart. They're not necessarily in recovery. They do it just because they understand that helping other people is the best addiction out there. By the way, that's what you're addicted to now, helping others. And it's a good addiction, right? When they discover that, now, I tell them, man, you got a servant's heart, and thank you. Because without those people like you and me wouldn't be here. I mean, heck, we're married to some of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Even in recovery, it is not easy to live with a fucking alcoholic. I should rephrase that. Even sober, it's not easy to live with Dion. It just isn't. It takes a special person. But, that's why I think my wife is the best wife for me. Yeah.
And that's why Ashley is for me.
Yeah.
She could be one of us, type of deal, blah, blah, blah. And she's been around it and had it affect her life. She's more Al-Anon, but she understands it. And the support that I get from her is truly unconditional.
Yeah. And it's spiritual, spirituality isn't reserved for AA. Yes, I agree. I was just doing the 12th step with a sponsor in the 12 by 12, and it talks about that. You come to the realization. The book says it better than Dion, so I'm just going to pull it up. Probably no AA practically every AA member declares that no satisfaction has been deeper and no joy greater than in a 12th step job done well. That's the high. That's the addiction. And it's a good one. But this is what happens. To watch the eyes of men and women open with wonder as they move from darkness into light, to see their lives quickly fill with new purpose and meaning, to see whole families reassembled, to see the alcoholic outcast received back into his community in full citizenship, and above all, to watch these people awaken to the presence of a loving God in their lives. These are the things, these things are the substance of what we receive as we carry AA's message to the next alcoholic. Nothing about me in there. No, it's the joy is watching other people get it, and knowing that you maybe had a little part in it because you are a small part of a big whole, but that is the big whole. And what do we say? It takes a tribe to get and stay sober. It takes a tribe. It does. and that your tribe could include AA, a sponsor. It can include closed mouth friends. It can include a therapist, a doctor, a pastor. Yeah, these are all friends of AA, and those are the people that promote for us because I am incapable of doing it correctly. That's what it comes down to. Or it'll go to my fucking head. Well, how come Dion gets to do it and I don't? Oh, you will fucking hear it. You know? So no.
Dion's not stopping you from doing your side. Do what you want to do.
Dion invited you 2 years ago. I'm kidding.
Right. It's like, you want to do this, go do this.
I'll even tell you. I'll even teach you how to do it.
Right.
Right. I'll take my personal time and I
It's
will.
not like we're in competition.
Yeah. Yeah. And that just goes back to attraction rather than promotion anyway, right there. You know, understanding that everybody's got their way and allowing that, you know. So all right. Now I'm gonna try and get some things done before the game. I've been putting off intentionally.
Yeah, I gotta do some things before the meeting. So
Okay. And I don't know if you got my you did because you replied. So
I did.
cool.
Just pick a time and day.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll see you at about 5:45 then.
Somewhere around there.
All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I think most people are gone, but we had Ingrid and we had Jillian today. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate
Peace,
it.
brother. Love you.